Students for Liberty is a non-profit organization that promotes the ideas of liberty, individual and economic freedom to students across the world. It has a branch in Africa known as African Students for Liberty. Hello dear viewers, welcome to the Big Gist 2020, brought to you by Saphicsmedia Productions in collaboration with African Students for Liberty, Nigeria. Today we'll be having special speakers from Students for Liberty. They'll be talking to us on the topic, liberty in the society.
Good day everyone. My name is Sanni Johnson from Nigeria. I am a regional coordinator at Students for Liberty Africa. I'll be speaking on individual liberty. Individualism is one of the core values of classical liberalisms, and it is the ability for an individual to pursue what gives him happiness without any infringement from any entity, provided that he does not infringe on the freedom of others to do the same.
Good day everyone, my name is Bukola Demilla from Nigeria. I'm a local coordinator with Students for Liberty Africa. The idea of liberty can be summarily put into 4 words: live and let live. Individual living in society has the responsibility to pursue his own happiness in his own way, but his way must be the one that does not affect the pursuit of another person's happiness.
More liberty, less government. It's a popular slogan which portrays veteran ideas that government should have little and limited power, while the citizens, on the other hand, enjoy freedom from unnecessary government interference.
Good day everyone, my name is Bayonle Fesobi from Nigeria, and I'm a regional coordinator at Students for Liberty Africa. The government that governs well is the government that governs the least. In order to see the best out of government, that is for it to be very effective, its responsibilities must not exceed the protection of lives, the protection of private property, and the protection of citizens' liberty. Any government that goes beyond what the Constitution states risks the burden of carrying what it cannot successfully deliver, and soon its existence will be effective.
Society encompasses individuals with different ideas and different moralities, sometimes different historical backgrounds. Therefore, divergence of views and disagreement on certain issues are unavoidable. A society where liberty flourishes gives room even for the most controversial ideas to thrive, for the simple reason that nobody knows who is wrong, and an individual that wants his ideas to be accepted needs to profile his arguments in a logical way to convince his audience and outrightly avoid use of force of any kind.
Individual remain one of the basic bedrock of liberty. The idea of individualism teaches that an individual is important in a society or group. A group of individuals make a society, but without individual, a society or group may lose its existence or not come into existence at all. Today, the ideas, opinion, and interests of the minority in the society are relegated and submerged where that of the majority dominates. This is dangerous because there is no principle that proclaims infallibility of the majority. Every single person is important. Any decision taken by the majority in the name of the betterment of the society on behalf of everyone must not infringe on the freedom of the minority and other members of the society and group. It is important to know why libertarians are so serious about the superiority of individuals. This is because in a society where minority or individual interests are suppressed, the speed of development is reduced and hatred and violence become unavoidable.
Government was created as a system with the governed at the other end of the rope. It became useful as a result of the social contract that government should protect the life, properties and liberty of the citizen. Society today has witnessed government acting in a manner to subvert the will, expropriate private properties and deny liberty, and sometimes terminate the life of its people through its policies, actions, and inactions. Government seems to have grown in power that it tends to abuse that power and can therefore manipulate and overpower the interests of its citizens. We search in futility for the law to bridge the gap between the ruler and the ruled. Libertarians want government to be small and closer to its people it rule. We want government that are bound by the same agreed law of the land. We seek for government that prioritizes the interests of its 99% citizens above the benefit of the 1% that rule. In order to maintain this kind of government, there must be an efficient legal system that protects the law from being used against its people. The rule of law must prevail at all times, and separation of power is essential not only for the legislative, executive, and judiciary, but also for the federal, state, and local government.
Free market is a system of operating a market devoid of government control or influence. A system where everyone who participates gets due reward for their labor. A market where demand drives supply. Production is hinged on creative innovation of individual players in the system, where profit and loss in business is determined by how well you serve your customers on the measurement of quality of goods you deliver and the amount of service you provide. Free market makes room for the regulation of markets and prevents government from fixing prices for products, stops them from imposing excessive taxes, unnecessary tariffs and permits, which can hinder innovation and prosperity in the competitive markets. Most times, when the government regulates market prices and scrutinizes participation, it does so to enrich itself and its cronies, and of course, at the expense of the citizens. Free market extends to free trade among neighboring communities. Free movement of goods and people benefit both sides. It is obvious that no community can unilaterally produce all it needs, except of course it wants to lay back in the stone age. The benefits of free trade cannot be overestimated. For instance, when two communities trade together, they are unlikely to fight one another, knowing fully well how dependent they are. Also, government ideas of interventionism and protectionism make the market less efficient as it ought to be, and result to nothing but poverty and destitution. Freedom Economic Index has said it all. The most prosperous nations in the world are those whose markets are free from government interference and which private property is both protected and respected.
Therefore, there is need for rule of law. Rule of law is a system of standard and well-defined legal structure, generally and equally enforced for peaceful coexistence among the members of the society. The principles of rule of law includes but not limited to supremacy of the law, equality before the law, and the respect for the rights of the people. It means that the law is supreme and applicable to all members of the society. In a society where the rule of law exists, law, rather than men, rules. The rule of law is not a weapon to be used by the oppressor, but it is an instrument to keep both the oppressor and the transgressor away. Equality before the law means that the law is effective enough for it to be applied among members of the society. Politicians and their friends cannot enjoy arbitrary privileges over any other in a society where there is equality before the law. As libertarians, we believe that the rights are not given by government, and it is not their responsibility to recognize some or deny others. Human rights are inherent, and government are meant to protect them. In a society where there is rule of law, the government is accountable and the citizens are responsible. There is an equal opportunity for everyone to live their life, and redress is seen as the most peaceful way to resolve conflicts.
Toleration is a libertarian principle based on the foundation of live and let live. And for us to live in peace with one another, we need to be tolerant of our actions, in as much as it doesn't have any physical effect on us. And then people often seek government interventions when things don't go according to how they want. But the government are not the best of saviors in this situation, because they probably end up putting measures that will jeopardize the liberty of one or both of the parties. And for society to flourish, we need to tolerate the ideas we disapprove of or actions we don't like by giving the covenant the opportunity to make his case. The first outcome of toleration is peace. and peace is the first outcome of economic development. Individual happiness, fulfillment of aspirations, and collective progress is recorded in an atmosphere where there is tranquility.
The development of every society is based on the respect of individual liberty. Make every individual count, and the society will be prosperous and peaceful.
In order to attain the highest feat of development, individual must be free, and this is possible when he is seen and treated as an important part of a group and society.
What we have seen is that the most prosperous human being is the one who is free and not slave in chains.
The solution to very many of our problems is indeed less government. Thank you.
Freedom is not an option. It is the only solution to building a prosperous society.